Now it's time for another Board Game Brawl preview with Nick Minahan, sponsored by BoardGameBliss.com.
Hey folks, my name is Nick, this is Board Game Brawl, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game that is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. That game is called Monsters Party Voodoo Madness, and is from Insanity Games. Now, if you like what you see throughout the rest of this preview video, I'm going to encourage you to go to the official Kickstarter project page. The project is running right now. You can follow the link up in the top corner of your screen, or also down in the description section underneath this video. Those links will take you to the Kickstarter page. You can find out more information than I could possibly tell you here, and hopefully you'll consider backing the project. Now, what is Monsters Party Voodoo Madness? This is a social deduction game where players are monsters who are trying to guess what type of monster the other players are, while keeping them from guessing what type of monster they are. That because there are special items and objects that each monster is going to be vulnerable to, and you don't want to let on that you really are that vulnerable to it. So you're going to be flinging attacks back and forth, but you're not going to let on whether or not you're actually being hurt by those quite yet, until you desperately need to by blocking them. And then that's going to give players some clues. It's going to go on like this until there's only one monster left standing. Let me go ahead and give you a brief look at how the game is played with a prototype version of the game, so what you see here may change in the final version. Then we're going to come back, I'll give you my final thoughts.
In Monsters Party Voodoo Madness, players take control of 2 to 6 monsters who are having a party and playing a game with voodoo dolls representing themselves. Each player tries to figure out the other player's identity and attack them. The last voodoo doll with the secret identity still standing is the winner. Randomly deal a monster card out to each player, which they will keep hidden. Each player gets their own object deck as well, which they'll shuffle and draw 5 cards from. Choose a starting player and take turns clockwise. The sequence of play goes like this. First, drawing. If you have less than 5 cards in hand, draw up to 5, but if you start with 5 cards, you get to draw an additional 2. You must then perform at least 1 attack, and up to 2 is permissible. You may also attempt to guess your opponent's identity, but if you fail, you take 2 damage. If you're successful, you eliminate that opponent. Each monster has 3 hit points. If you reach 0 and die, you must reveal your true identity. You have to track your hit points in your head so as not to tip off the other players. To make an attack, put one of your objects in front of another player. Each object can damage a certain type of monster, but your opponent won't let on unless he's dead, so you'll have no idea if you're hurting him or not. Players can choose to block an attack by playing the card face down to intercept it. Both blocking and attacking cards stay on the table for people to read. The Potion of Healing actually heals when it's used to block. The Potion of Revelation reveals someone's face-down object and can't be used to block. Every player has a life tracker, where you keep track of all potential damage even if you're not the thing you're taking damage for. If every player's deck runs out of cards, sudden death starts. Each player must try to guess an opponent's identity at least once per turn, normally taking the 2 damage if you guess wrong. Now, let's get to my final thoughts.
Well, there are a lot of social deduction games out there, but I think that Monsters Party puts a very unique spin on it, because rather than just like, hey, you're on this team, we're on this team, now we just got to figure out who is who and who lines up where, instead it's, first off, it's every man or woman for themselves, but also the fact that everyone's trying to hurt each other, and you can hope that you're doing well, like by attacking someone and using a lot of your objects, but you're not really sure, because they might just say like, yeah, okay, I'm fine, like bluff you out, and you don't even know necessarily until the game goes on, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, why did they block that? But that in itself could necessarily be a block. So there's a lot of interesting little double bluffing and things going on there. I think the game also has a very light theme to it, which is going to be accessible to a lot of people. And the game is relatively simple and easy to learn as well. So people can really get into it very quickly. It's very easy to learn, very easy to pick up, and very fast to play. But with all of that, there's still nuance to the game. So even though it's easy to pick up and easy for anyone to play, casual gamers or hardcore gamers, those hardcore gamers will find some substance and depth there, like a lot of other social deduction games that are out there. But this one, again, has a very interesting spin and theme to it. So if those types of things appeal to you, if you like the theme, if you like the gameplay, if you like social deduction games in general, you definitely want to take a look at this one because you might be surprised by it. The game is running on Kickstarter right now to fund a final version of it. You can click on the link up in the top corner of your screen, and also down in the description section underneath this video, those links will take you to the official Kickstarter project page. You can find out even more information than I could possibly tell you here, and hopefully you'll consider backing the project. That is Monsters Party Voodoo Madness from Insanity Games. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. And make sure to check out our sponsor, Board Game Bliss, where you can find an amazing selection of games from around the world. BoardGameBliss.com. Thanks for your support.